Hi, welcome back to the workshop, and today we are looking at Helgen's brand new model of the MetVic gas turbine locomotive prototype. Now, Mark, you know more about this than I do. Give me a brief rundown of the history of this locomotive.
So it's set back to the 1940s. It was a time when the Great Western Railway, they'd already had 18,000, the gas turbine prototype back then, which was built in Switzerland. And I think it was out of a desire, if you like, of having their own UK-built version of the gas turbine, trying that. And this was built by Metropolitan-Vickers in Manchester for the Western region. And it was delayed a little bit because of the Second World War. And I think it was about 1951 when it was delivered, eventually to Swindon, and then was put on test, and its abilities were put to the test, if you like.
How long will this one actually last?
It was several years. It was a quite short-lived thing, really. It was eventually set aside and was taken up by the London Midland region. It was converted for 25 kV overhead electric use at a time when the electrification work was going on the London Midland. So it was used for testing purposes on that.
It's quite a fascinating history and dare I say, quite a short-lived period that's been modelled.
Yes, absolutely so. But it is a spectacular model. It really does look... It's just got that sort of sheer brutishness about it.
It does, and in this livery as well, the black, the silver, and then that lovely early BR crest, it has got a lot of presence to it.
It has, and it's got some nice features to it. We've got the... there's the etched metal roof grille. You've got separately fitted lifting lugs on the roof, ventilators. You've got lighting as well in the cab and the engine room. You've got directional lighting as well, and of course you've got those distinctive, really rather heavy-looking bogie frames with sandboxes on the side, picked out in silver, and of course those tanks across the centre as well.
It really has got a lot of presence. As you were saying to me also earlier before, I think the only potential drawback is some of the handrails are actually quite fragile.
They are fragile. They are plastic, very fine plastic. So, you do have to take care with them. They are very fragile. In fact, the ones at each end of our review sample are damaged. But, it's got a nice finesse to it, and it runs very nicely as well. I think the real one, when they tested it over the Devon banks at the time, I think they managed something like 18 carriages over the Devon banks. And I have to say, with the weight that this model has got, its traction ability, we've got 8 coaches here. I think we tested 10 coaches whilst reviewing it. And I would say it's got enough oomph to it to be able to add some extra coaches on, possibly up to the full 18 that were tested over the Devon banks.
I'm quite impressed by that. So what's actually inside the model driving it to sort of have that power output?
So it's got a 5-pole motor. You've got it's a centrally mounted motor. You've got twin flywheels in there as well. You've got drive to the outer axles of each bogie. It's got 21-pin DCC decoder socket in there. There's a bank of switches underneath as well, which allow you to select the lighting options as well if you're on DC. Under DCC conditions, if you put the right sort of decoder in, you can then access some of the lights. Now, we've accessed some of the lighting system. We haven't got all of them working on there because I think it's the type of decoder that we've got. I think there are 2 different types of MT. There's an MTC and a standard 21-pin decoder that you can put in type socket. And
as far as DCC's sound capabilities is concerned, how easy would it be to fit sound and a speaker to this particular model?
Really simple, actually, because it already comes fitted with a round speaker inside, which means all you've got to do literally is plug your desired 21-pin decoder socket in place. And if you've got the right sound profile on it, it should, in theory, work straight out of the box, pretty much.
Plug and play. We're actually seeing that quite a lot these days with a lot of manufacturers. It's actually having the speakers installed. You just have to literally just put the decoder in. It's a wonderful thing that modelers are now really being able to be spoiled with, isn't it?
Yeah. The model is exclusive through Rails of Sheffield, and they've done 3 versions of the model. So there's 18100 as it is here. You've got E1000, which was the first of the electric conversions, then E2001 as well. Those 3 models are available in similar colour schemes. And they're only available DCC ready, but they do supply a bespoke sound profile for 18100.
Okay, so you told us that they're available through Rails. They're available now. How much are they selling for?
So they're £225 each for the basic DCC ready model, and there's also a sound upgrade available, which includes the sound profiles for 18100 and also for the 25 kV AC electrics, should you wish, and that's £125 extra.
Well, if you enjoy more unique locomotives as far as your collection is concerned, then this one could definitely be for you. You can read a full review written by Mark over here in HM207, our September edition of Hornby magazine, and of course you can see much more on keymodelworld.com. In the meantime though, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.